Jackson on the drive, kicks it out for man. Man, three-pointer, bang! Oh, what a man!
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12, good!
Here's Michael at the foul line, a shot on Elo,
Good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
now there's a steal by Bird, underneath the DJ,
Going up over Bell, ball away. Yes! Yes! At the buzzer, he does it! Was there ever a doubt?
A Smith screen, Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
It's a physical game. Oh, me, oh, God! A monster jam by Blake Griffin.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. Seriously, though, I'm not even joking. There's that notification bell right next to the subscribe button or right next to the video, and it notifies you whenever I go live and stuff. And in the summer, you guys all seem to just hibernate. It's like ball is not life, it seems, to everybody like me. Like, you know, there's no off season for me. But I get it. People want to take their time away from the game. People want to take their time away from listening to me. I don't know if I can listen to myself year round either. But it's also on me too. Like, I'm not consistent enough with what you guys should expect as my listeners, as my followers in the summer. And that's something that's going to be changing in these last 2 months. But today we're going to be talking about USA, both USA teams, men beating Serbia in the semifinal, women beating Australia in the semifinal. If you want to just listen to individual game portions, the timestamp will be there. And we're also going to be talking about France and Germany's semifinal. And, of course, the Jason Tatum conversation surrounding Team USA that has nothing to do with the actual result of the game because Tatum didn't play. Now, before we get going, I just want to say that super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Any donation is appreciated. If you want your comment read right away, you can super chat. And please come to YouTube and not Twitter. If you are watching on Twitter, that stream will be cut off in the 20-minute mark. So please come to YouTube. That's where I make my money. That's where I want to grow, because I put all my work into this. So come to YouTube. The link is posted all over my Twitter. We are live from Los Angeles, people. Let's get it. So this game between USA and Serbia ended up being an absolute classic. Like, it's rare that we say Team USA basketball games are classics to me, because unless they're like gold medal games, because it's usually so lopsided. And throughout the tournament, the 3 group games and that quarterfinal game against Brazil, it looked like the same story. When the USA brings their big guns, no one stands a chance. But this game was nothing like that. Serbia came out raining threes. And some of them weren't even wide open. They were hitting some contested threes. Led by Bogdan Bogdanovic of the Atlanta Hawks, who's a very solid NBA sixth man. And Avramovic, I mean, this guy was splashing threes. They couldn't miss. And, of course, so much of it comes from Nikola Jokic, whether it be in the high post or the dribble handoffs with him handing the ball off. So you always have to respect Jokic on the roll. But these Serbian players were hitting everything. And it wasn't even that the U.S. weren't hitting everything. We actually shot pretty well from 3. But these guys were just on fire. And I thought, to a degree, and I don't really know how much you can really blame USA, we weren't the sharpest defensively. We weren't necessarily the most alert in terms of screen navigation or contesting threes in the beginning of the game and communication as we could have been. As you saw, 3 quarters completed into the game, we could flip a switch like that with the effort level. But in the first quarter, not too great. And I think it partially was because we played these guys before. We saw how much we could beat them by. We didn't expect that. As far as the offense, I talked about USA wasn't missing much. Well, guess who finally showed up to the party? Finally had a good game. Steph Curry. Steph Curry got a number of threes. It actually started out with a mid-range coming off a curl to begin the game, and then multiple threes in that first quarter, coming off screens, catching and shooting. That left corner one, he did the classic turnaround before it even goes in. So you could see that Steph was feeling himself. 17 points in the first quarter. But despite that, Serbia was playing such solid defense, just as well as they could play, walling off the lanes and just forcing us to shoot from the outside. And of course, you are conceding a bit to Curry there. But they were up 31-23 after one. But at this point, I wasn't panicking at all because it's like we've seen the USA be down after first quarters in this tournament so far, but we never saw them actually get threatened like this. And the second quarter, the shooting continued. I mean, Micic, who else was out there? Guduric. These guys were just coming in, hitting threes. Dobric, Petrusev, like everybody was hitting threes except for Jokic, funny enough. And I mean, they went up by 17 at one point. 17. We went on a 7-0 run to respond to that, but what I thought was impressive was that they answered back to that, and off a bogey 3, they went up by 15. And I thought we were pretty sloppy with the ball, Ant-Man especially. And again, like with Ant-Man, with this team, he tends to ball stop. He tends to ball dominate, and usually the results are fine. But when they don't look good, because he's not moving the ball and he's looking like he's trying to go score and prove something every second, it can be ugly. He only had 2 points in this game. He had as many turnovers as points, and he played just 13 minutes and was 1 for 3 from the field and 0 for 2 from 3. In the second quarter, Serbia outscored us 23-20, and part of it, and I thought, was a lot of gambles in the passing lanes on defense by us, whether it be Ant-Man or LeBron. Ant-Man couldn't make shots. And also LeBron, he was 2 for 2 from 3 in the first half, and I just didn't get a sense from him that he was trying to get another one up there. And I was actually rooting for LeBron to shoot more. Like, I was like, dude, you're shooting well. And that is one thing when I was a big LeBron fan, at times I got on him about. It's like, here's what I'll say. LeBron is worried about, getting other guys going for sure. But I almost feel like when he makes a couple shots in a row, he doesn't like doing what like some score first kind of, like true score first kind of guys do, which is like they'll just take over till they get doubled or stopped. And LeBron just is like, it's almost like he feels guilty about it. Like he knows it's probably going to be a double team. So he'll just get it going. But like sometimes it's just, you want him to just like force it. Like, come on, just get it up there. Like you are shooting super well. You could be hot for all we know. And so that's one thing I've always thought about him. It's the, like, I don't need to take over scoring wise. Like I think LeBron's natural instinct, unless he's like really, really needs to do it, his natural instinct is not to like score a ton. Like I don't think he loves doing that. I think he likes scoring a lot, and then after that, using that ability to get other guys shots. Like that's his experience. Like that's what he wants to do on the court. He takes joy in the passing. I mean, he's such a great passer, one of the best we've ever seen. 23-20 in the second quarter though for Serbia. So that means it's 54-43 at the half. At this time, I'm like, okay, it's getting a little sketch. But I'm not worried about actually losing the game. Not at all. The third quarter, the lights out shooting continued. And there were times where I was dumbfounded by our decisions to go under screens, still be lazy on closeouts, still gambling. Nobody offensively for us, except for Steph, looked like they had brought it to the table. LeBron didn't shoot one time in the third quarter. After going 3 for 4 in the first half and 2 for 2 from 3, he did not shoot in the third quarter. So now, after Serbia outscores us 22-20 in the third, and we're down 13 going into the fourth, I'm a little worried. I am. And then you saw the flip switched. I'm sorry, the switch flipped. I've been doing that so much lately. Even Noah Eagle did it on the broadcast. But we changed our tone and our intensity defensively. The ball pressure was different. The level of desperation was noticeable. And that's what amazes me about basketball players and athletes. Sometimes it's all about that extra effort, that extra, I need this, as opposed to, I can have it, but I need this. That's a different want to. It's a different level of energy and effort that you are expending. Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Joel Embiid were the lineup that changed this game around and prevented embarrassment for our entire country. Now, I'm not the biggest Team USA guy when it comes to basketball, which is weird because I definitely am patriotic and I am a huge basketball guy. But it just, as I've mentioned, it feels too easy. It just has always felt too easy. And it's like no team should come close. Whereas something like U.S. soccer, we're not even that great. And like swimming and like all the other sports I watch, like, oh, I'm all in for the U.S. Like that's, But basketball, it's been so overwhelming. I'm not saying I root against us, obviously, but I just don't seem to care. I kind of like it when we get challenged. But I was legitimately nervous in this game. And I also now, as I'm getting older, I'm like, I don't want another country to beat us at our own game. Like the same way other countries care so much more about soccer and, football, international football more than us. And I'm a big soccer guy. We should lose to the Netherlands. Like when we lost in the World Cup, we should lose to the Netherlands. We should lose to France. Yeah, we're a bigger country, but they just care so much more. They shouldn't beat us in basketball. Nobody should. This is our game. This is our league. We can't lose to Serbia. All due respect to Serbia. They got the best player in the world. Look at that. Look at our talent, man. Micic was in the NBA last year. On the Charlotte Hornets, he was okay. He showed some signs of a good player. He's definitely a good basketball player. Like Trae Young isn't even on our team. Trae Young would be the best player on a lot of these teams. So take your pick. Jalen Brunson. We could go down the line. We got to win these games. The thing about it is, though, anything can happen in a one-off game with professionals. But our talent disparity is so grand that we just shouldn't lose. We shouldn't. And this fourth quarter was dicey. It was very dicey. But as I said, the ball pressure, the defensive intensity started to change things. And I think when Jokic had 4 fouls, that very much changed a lot for Joel Embiid. I mean, he was actually playing a decent game before that, but there was a level of, if we go at Jokic, he can't really guard unless he wants to risk getting fouled out of this game. And that put us in an advantageous position. The 2 Phoenix Suns, as much as I hate to say it, were instrumental. See, I don't hate to say it, but I hate the Suns. You feel? Were instrumental into the U.S. comeback. Both ends of the floor, in my opinion. D-Book, he's been proving what I've been saying about him right in this tournament. I mean, he's extremely adaptable, very versatile, is a better defender than people think he is. But this past season, he just got lazy on that end of the floor, partially because he was basically the point guard for so much of it. And he could not get the same amount of, it was a lot more him on ball, handling the ball and pick and roll, as opposed to playing off of a CP3, coming off of screens and working quickly and catching and shooting and this and that. And you're seeing him just essentially play like a role player on this team. And it's been spectacular. And I still feel like we haven't actually asked Devin Booker really to go get a bucket, which is funny because, I mean, that's what he does best. But what makes him so great to me is how many ways he can score. He can score in basically every single way. He's just not the quickest in the world off the bounce. He doesn't always get to the rim, doesn't always get 2 feet in the paint, doesn't always get those easy baskets. A lot of it is pull-ups. A lot of it is contested jumpers. A lot of it is jumpers. But, man, he's got a good jumper. He's been spectacular. I think, to me, he's been a top 10 player in the league for, I want to say, 4 full years at this point. I haven't done my rankings. I'm going to have to do that soon. My updated rankings of best players in the league. Kevin Durant, I mean, he has been arguably our best player to me. I would probably lean LeBron, who was absolutely fantastic in the comeback as well, especially getting downhill and just pushing the ball. He just looked like he was a man on a mission when it came to getting in the paint. but KD's been so consistent. It was his first. It was looking like it was just going to be his first bad game, and he was also sitting for a while at one point. And that was another thing. So like, let's talk about. Should we talk about the rotations and that stuff now? Because when the USA were down, Twitter. I mean, Twitter's just so toxic. Just too many people with an opinion, including me. So I tweeted it today, but if I didn't have this platform, I would not be on Twitter at all. Like, it's just way too many thoughts in someone's head, way too many listening to other people's opinion, just way too much negative stuff going on. Of course, it's a little more out of the loop when it comes to sports media news if you're not on it, but I think the toxicity of basketball conversation that's exacerbated and on display at all times there, the clickbaity nature of it all, it's much unhealthier than what the healthiness of what being in the know does, I guess, or just quicker. That's just my opinion, though, to each his own. But I would be off it, man. Like, it's just, the conversations are terrible. Like, I got some incredible followers. I've made some amazing relationships on Twitter, and I have a great following of good fans for the most part. And I have some of the most special, I got freaking Earl Monroe following me. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not normal for someone like me. I'm just a guy from Los Angeles as a basketball fan. But that's special. Social media has allowed me to meet so many cool people across the world. And Twitter has as well. Twitter's changed my life in many ways, but shit is weak. And everybody was blaming the coaches for everything at this time of the game. Oh, we're losing because Tatum's not in. Look, man, I'll save the Tatum stuff for after, but one of my friends, bless his soul, he's been on the show several times, was saying that 1.5 minute with Steph and LeBron out of the game was why we were going to lose. It's like, if you've followed LeBron and Steph over the last couple of years, you will see that playing them an entire half, despite it being 8 less minutes, it's not the move. You want them to close the game, which is what you're asking them. They're the leaders of the team. They're the faces of the team. They're like, the funniest part is I would take Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum over all three of LeBron, KD, and Steph in an 82-game plus playoff setting. I would, because they're older. They get tired easier. They don't play as many games. They don't get to the paint as much. I would take those two. You're more consistently going to get defensive effort from those guys. But in a tournament like this, where you need experience and confidence, and it's a different style of play, I'm taking the higher IQ players. And plus, it's also like, would I take LeBron or Tatum in the playoffs? I would still take LeBron. Would I take KD or Tatum in the playoffs? Honestly, I would take Tatum. That's a different conversation. I'll do another. I'll clarify that in the top 10 episode. Steph or Tatum in the playoffs? I would probably still take Steph, but he didn't make the playoffs last year, and it could have been a rough showing for him if he did. I don't know. I'd probably still take Steph, but Tatum, he's certified now. But I'll get into that. Point is, the comeback was spectacular. Joel Embiid, well, KD and Book each made threes back to back to cut it to 5. But then Joel Embiid had a couple minutes stretch where he was allowing offensive rebounds, 3 straight offensive rebounds that he allowed. And then he scored every time after. He had an and one. He had a mid-range pull-up from the foul line. And he had another one against Jokic where he faded away. And during this time, LeBron is doing a good job distributing. He's also doing a great job of getting downhill on the break. That one finish he had where he literally took off from the middle of the key, like had that little double clutch reverse with the right hand on the left side. I mean, I was just like, this fool is so fucking athletic still. It's actually insane. And at this time, by the way, LeBron has taken the responsibility of guarding Joker. And if you know, us covering Joker's games on this channel in the playoffs for the last, since we started this channel, it's like 4 years. It's better to have somebody that's maybe a little bit shorter and has that lower center of gravity that can use their leverage to really get into him and really try to get underneath him than someone big and tall that's going to go up vertical against Joker. And LeBron, Rui Hachimura, Cat, Naz Reid, these guys have had more success than the likes of AD, Rudy Gobert. And it actually wasn't, LeBron and Jokic, LeBron, I remember one possession where LeBron fouled him. And other than that, I don't remember Jokic shooting on him too much. There was one where he had to, and a lot of the threes that Jokic missed, by the way, were like late in the shot clock bailout. And LeBron had a nice contest on one where it was one of those moments where Jokic turned and shot from beyond the three to beat the clock. And as a Laker fan, especially, if you're a Laker fan, you must have been like shitting yourself in that moment. Like, oh my God, is that going to be another turnaround one-legged Jokic nonsense three? But he airballed, and that was good D by Braun. But my point was, they were trying to hunt KD on the switch against Jokic. The Serbians, they would have Jokic set the screen to get LeBron switched off of him and then have KD guard him. And I thought one time Embiid completely overhelped and allowed an offensive rebound. Then another time later in the game, KD got a great stop on Jokic, one-on-one, staying tall. And I think Jokic looked a little bit tired, just a little bit. Because we're going at him defensively. He has to do everything in terms of creating offensively, because when we turn up the gas defensively, the Micic, the Bogdanovic it's not that easy for them anymore. So you got to go to the big fella, the man. He just didn't have enough juice. Just didn't quite have enough juice. Late game plays, Steph had the go-ahead three to make it 87-86. And then, Bogdanovic cut the game. By the way, some of those fast breaks were really enjoyable. The LeBron layup, the Steph layup. I thought it was over when we went up by 5, but Bogdanovic had that and 1. And then last possession, we're up by 2. If we miss, I was really nervous here still, because if we missed, with the way Serbia was shooting the 3, who knows what could have happened. They could have taken the lead. I looked at my friend that I was watching it with, and I was like, you got LeBron, Steph, Embiid, Booker, and KD on a court. Every single one of them has been a bucket getter for the longest time. And on their teams, you go to them for a bucket. But with all these choices, who is our choice to go get a bucket? And for me, it was a no-brainer. The best scorer of the group. All time, yes. Kevin Durant. KD. His height, his shooting, his handle, his knack and best attribute in the game being scoring for me by a lot. He's the clear choice. And LeBron knew it. Carmelo Anthony knew it, sitting courtside. And by the way, Bogdanovic talking shit to Melo, that was a whole entertaining spectacle of the game. But KD, I forget if it was between or just a straight cross, left to right. Pull up, hand in the face, hits it. It feels weird rooting for that dude. I cannot lie to you. It feels weird. But can't say it's not that fun. That was big time, man. Big time shot. And that was basically all she wrote. Celebrations after the game. USA winning at 95-91 over Serbia to prevent embarrassment. Big time win. Really fun. Much better Serbia team than that Lithuania team we almost lost to in 2012. I'm taking this team over 2012. I like the way this team plays better. I think that the role player kind of guys like Drew and Derek White have been good for the team. I love the off-ball nature of Booker, KD, these guys to play off of LeBron and Ant-Man, and just having more of like a assigned roles kind of thing. Like really everything just kind of revolves around Ant and LeBron with the ball in their hands, and then everybody else moving without the ball off of them, it seems. Then you got Drew Holiday and Derek White who get their ball handling duties here and there. But for the most part, everybody else kind of moves to the rock and just kind of catches and goes. Whereas 2012, we had so many shot creators, so many guys, cooks in the kitchen. We had CB3, we had James Harden, we had Kobe, we had Bron, we had a lot. The thing is, this team has guys that can create shots, but they've accepted the role, right, of what they want. I'm not taking this team over the Redeem team, though. Not after that scare. Nah. Not quite. Not when we had 08 Prime Wade. That's the thing. It's the hierarchy of the Redeem team. This team is deeper, for sure. But I love the top 3 on that Redeem team. LeBron in his athletic prime. And Melo changed a lot that year to me. That was the turning point of Melo's career for me. Going off that trash 08 series he had against the Lakers to 09 and the rest of his career, I thought he was just sharper, smarter. Shooting was better. 09 Melo was a problem. I know in the regular season, he wasn't as good as we remember, but the playoffs, he was big time. I think that team with D Wade in his prime and then Kobe in his prime. I mean, come on. That's the advantage I give them. But it's debatable. Again, I'm still a big believer of the dream team being the best. And I know people try their best to slander them and, say the game's outdated and all this stuff. And I'm speaking as somebody I've only watched the first 2 games in full. But a lot of this is just hypotheticals, right? Like, nobody can deny that the competition that the dream team played was way weaker than right now. Definitely weaker. That Croatia team was very good. But other than that, not sold. But to me, that's a fact, right? That's like not disputable. But that does not mean that other teams are better than the dream team or would beat them. You know what I'm saying? Because like they were beating teams by a lot. Like we knew the competition wasn't great. That's why they're beating them by a lot. But it's also the way people talk about the dream team playing together. And I think that matters when you talk about this level of talent. And that's why I'm going with 2024 and 2008 over 2012. I like the fit better. And all this shit is subjective. There's a lot of people that just love the talent of the 2012 team and are like, this is the best one ever. And I just disagree massively, especially in the bigs department. That's one thing I really give the dream team, and people don't really see it, is David Robinson and Ewing. Like, I think that the 96 team has the best big rotation, but I've never seen them play, so I can't speak on them. But if we're talking about the dream team, this team's big rotation is pretty good. But the true center rotation, David Robinson and Ewing is pretty good. And they also have peak Jordan. And I don't think people understand how good Magic still was. Just because he had HIV, people don't know. Go back and watch the games. The one everyone says is Bird, and that's valid. Bird wasn't that good anymore. But Scottie Pippen was in his prime, and I was watching the first 2 games, and the way he was defending and getting out on the open floor, like, people are crazy if they don't think he would have an impact. So again, this is all like, nobody can prove this shit. But I'm going with the dream team. I think, and then Barkley, like, I can get into it all day. But this team is really great. The pictures after the game with Steph and LeBron and KD, a lot of people were like, man, this is special to see them all together. And it was. I'm just not a big Bron and KD guy anymore. Like, I was at one point in my life, but like, I'm over them. And I don't like the way that the LeBron's moved to Miami and various putting super teams together, and then KD doing the same thing. It's just really been like 2 of our biggest role models just pushing the whole, like, compete with the best as opposed to against the best mentality and just stacking the deck. And like, it's just not what I'm about. Like, it's just not what I'm about. It's not what I witnessed growing up with Kobe and Dirk and Tim Duncan. Like, it was just kind of different. And like, you can point to all the societal changes, but like, it's a lot of mentality to me. They're both incredible basketball players, though, 2 of the best that we've ever seen, but I just don't like them as much. Steph, one team, one franchise. I like what he's about. So it wasn't hitting the same for me as other people talking about this means so much. Like, this means, it was cool for me, but like, my nostalgic days are over. Like, when Kobe retired, when I graduated high school, that was like, NBA was never the same for me then after that. And I wasn't even the biggest Kobe guy. I like LeBron more, but Dirk, Kobe, Paul Pierce, Tim Duncan, T-Mac, like D Wade, like, those are my guys. Chris Bosh. That's my nostalgia. I get it if this, Kevin Durant and LeBron, though, like, of course, and CP3, like, those guys mean a lot to me, but I just don't care for Kevin Durant and LeBron much. LeBron I like a lot more than KD, I will say. He's holds a special place in my heart. But KD, I love watching him play basketball. It's not a huge guy. I'm not a huge fan of KD. That Warriors move. If it wasn't for that Warriors move, I wouldn't be saying a lot of this stuff. But yes, I'm one of the fans that just holds that against them. I'm always going to. It's weak. It was so weak. And everything just, I'm not going to get into slandering the man when he's hooping like this for the country, but big time game. We win at 95-91. Let's read some of the stats. By the way, we outscored them 32-15 in the fourth. 32-15. No Tatum, no Halliburton. Derek White played the fewest amount of minutes with 7. He had a donut and he was 0 for 2 from the field, and both his shots were threes. I already mentioned Ant-Man's stat line. Bam and AD played 10 minutes each. AD played had 4 points, 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 block, no turnovers. No, I'm sorry. 1 assist, 1 steal, no blocks, no turnovers, shot one shot and it was a tip in. 2 for 4 from the foul line. Bam, 0 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. KD came off the bench, had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and it's been reported that he's going to start in the gold medal game, which is weird that we're just finally starting him now. No turnovers for KD. Shot 50% from the field and from 3. 4 for 8 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3 in 24 minutes. And then the starters, Drew Holiday played 20 minutes, had 3 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists. I didn't agree with a lot of his offensive decisions throughout the game, though. 1 for 2 from the field. Both shots were threes. Devin Booker played 24 minutes, had 6 points and an assist. 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. 1 for 3 from the foul line, which was weird. Joel Embiid thought he was spectacular. Really good the last 2 games. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 3 turnovers on 8 for 11 shooting, 2 for 3 from deep, 1 for 1 from the foul line. And LeBron, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 2 for 3 from the foul line. A triple-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and just 2 turnovers for the King. I mean, the way he's playing right now is just spectacular. I mean, it is amazing what he's doing. I mean, as the Team USA has given him the keys, of course, but he is our best on-ball decision maker, even at this age. And the fact that he's still athletic enough to do all the other stuff, guard the best player and push the ball at that pace, and it's remarkable. By the way, everybody, before I read my player of the game stat line, which was Steph Curry, join me on YouTube. I will be disabling the Twitter stream right now. I warned everybody. I even let you get an extra 10 minutes on Twitter, but please come to YouTube. The link is in my Twitter. It's literally there. Come to YouTube and join us. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime and have a comment pop up right away. But let's get it. My player of the game, Stephen Curry. Finally having a great game. 36 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers on 12 for 19 shooting, 9 for 14 from 3, 3 for 3 from the foul line. Steph, he's special, and he had a big game. It was great to see that for Team USA. 57% from the field as a team, 50% shooting from 3 as a team, but 64% from the foul line. No, that's no good. Serbia shot 46.5% from the field, 38.5% from 3. So we ended up making 1 more 3 than them. 83% from the foul line. Jokic had 17 points, 5 boards, and 11 assists. He had 1 steal and 1 block on 7 for 17 shooting. So he was actually 7 for 11 from 2, 0 for 6 from 3. So the 3 ball, I don't know what's happened with Jokic's 3 ball lately, because in the playoffs it wasn't good either. 3 for 4 from the foul line. And looked a little tired. So USA eliminates Serbia. Honestly, I hope Serbia gets the bronze, but I don't really care. Now, let's talk about Jason Tatum for a sec. Jason Tatum has kind of been the odd man out besides Tyrese Halliburton, who is just so obviously the weakest defender on the team and probably the worst player on the team. Or I don't want to use the words worst, but the least good. Here's the thing. Jason Tatum is actually, before I get into Jason Tatum, 11 players in a 40-minute game that you're really trying to win and get guys into a rhythm is not easy to do. I, as a 6th grade coach last year, and I just bear with me. I know you, no one's actually come at me with my coaching examples and said, this is not relatable to the NBA, you fucking idiot. No one's ever done that, so bear with me because I actually think it is relatable. I coached a team of 6th graders, right, in a public school of 3,000 kids total, which I went to in Los Angeles, of course. So I had a lot of kids to choose from. Like I had to try out like 75, 80 kids. So I'm cutting like 65 kids, right? It's not high school basketball. So I can't just sit kids the whole game, right? It's not that serious yet, winning. You want to win, but you also need to play everyone. But it's not like a rec center or YMCA where you have to play. It's a substitution, like mandatory at 5 minutes in and you switch, right? And it's 40-minute games, just like FIBA. It was hard for me to navigate. If I wanted to give, and I needed to give my kids time to get in rhythm, time to establish a pecking order, a hierarchy, and have kids buy into the role. And I had incredible 11th and 12th guys, but really there was only, I don't know if I would say I had an 11th guy. It was a mixture of guys at the bottom of the rotation, but I did have a 12th guy, and he was an incredible sport about it, knew and had self-awareness that these other kids have been playing basketball a little more seriously longer than him, and he bought in. And I would say that's Tyrese Halliburton right now, that 12th guy, right? He's bought in. Seems like he has a good attitude about it, just happy to be there. Now, there were guys on my team that obviously weren't happy about the amount of minutes they got because they were like, man, there's guys on the team that were above me in the rotation that I think I'm as good as. But I'm going to be honest, as the coach, I think it was pretty clear-cut my decisions were the better players played more. If my younger – and if the kids that didn't wanted to know why, I would always explain it to them. Jason Tatum, this is why this is so interesting. Jason Tatum in an NBA setting, as I mentioned at the top of the show, over the course of 82-plus games in the playoffs, I would take over LeBron and Steph and KD because look what he's done the last couple of years. He's all NBA for a reason. Why? Because he plays so many games in the regular season, and he does it on both ends of the floor consistently because he's literally my age. He's 26. So he's like approaching his prime. He's been in his youth these last couple of years. It's different than these guys that are like 35, 37. LeBron's 39. It's different. So they are more available. They're more durable right now, have more stamina right now. And then in the playoffs, look how deep they've gone, right? Or in Jason Tatum's case. Jason Tatum is a champion. He just came off winning the championship, and he could have been finals MVP. He led their team in every statistical category. It's borderline disrespectful what's happening right now. I can acknowledge that. But here's where I think everyone's blame is misplaced. Why is Steve Kerr the only one getting blamed? Just because he's the head coach and has the final say doesn't mean he's the only one making these decisions. You have Mark Few, Steve Kerr, and Eric Spoelstra sitting there, and you think that their opinions don't mean anything? Like Eric Spoelstra, Ty Lue, and Mark Few, these are not nobodies. Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr are the last two coaches to eliminate Jason Tatum from the playoffs. They know his weaknesses. And this is the hard truth. And this is coming from somebody and who's telling you, I think it's still disrespectful to a degree, that was advocating and standing up for Tatum all postseason long. Go back and check my receipts. I'm a Tatum fan. Everyone knows this that follows me like big time. That's my dude. He is just not great enough at anything that makes him play on this team. Get minutes. I'll tell you why. We have 10 players playing. Is he a better shot creator than LeBron? Is he the best shot creator? No. LeBron is a better shot creator. Who's the guy that's had the ball in their hands the second most, really? Anthony Edwards, I would think, just from my eye test. Maybe Drew Holiday or Derek White. But you know why they're out there, right? Celtics fans, is Jason Tatum a better perimeter defender than Derek White and Drew Holiday? No, he's not. And this Team USA approach has not been just throw the talent out there and let them figure it out. Like just throw the best players out there and let them figure it out based on who they are in the league. That hasn't been their idea. They are taking this seriously. They know that the gap is closed. I mean, last Olympics, we literally lost a game. I know we had a drastically different level of skill out there, but we lost a game, and that's not a good look. So we put guys like Drew Holiday and Derek White on the team over better players like Jaylen Brown because of fit. And so that's telling you Jaylen Brown wasn't even on the team. Also, well, there's some politics involved, but they knew who they wanted as their shot creators, LeBron and the Ant-Man. Ant-Man's ability to get downhill and be in attack mode and his appetite for scoring and aggression is just higher than Tatum's to me. Tatum takes a lot of jump shots. So does Ant, by the way. But Tatum is just more settled for jump shot prone to me. And his jump shot right now has not been good for the last couple of months. So his catch and shoot ability hurts. So that's why guys like KD and Booker are used over him. So he's not one of the top two priorities on the ball. He's not great off the ball. And defensively, whether on the interior, he's not better than Bam or AD. And on the perimeter, he's not better than Drew or Derek White, he is not like, I don't see the place for him to get the minutes that people want. Maybe 2-3 minutes. Like, I wouldn't take anyone out of the rotation. And the team's 5-0. Like, why would you change anything? The thing about Tatum is he's so versatile. He's good at a lot of those things I mentioned. He can protect the rim. He can guard on the perimeter. He can create. He can catch and shoot in theory. But he's just so solid all around. He's a master of none, unfortunately. And honestly, against France, his versatility might be useful, but we'll see if they change anything. I do feel bad for the guy because I love Tatum and he's a champion. He doesn't deserve this necessarily. But look, it's about a lot of it's just fitting into what I accommodate LeBron's strengths and Steph Curry. It's really about LeBron and Steph Curry. Like, once people get that through their heads, then it's a lot easier to figure out. Like, LeBron on the ball, Steph Curry off the ball. We want guys to play off of LeBron, and we want guys that can work quickly with Steph. That's it. Tatum, he kind of holds it a little more. That's the truth for me. And here's the thing. I wouldn't blame Tatum if he doesn't want to come and play in LA in 4 years. But anyway, let's talk about the U.S. women now against Australia. Honestly, the women is far more lopsided of competition than the men. It was not really even a contest. I mean, the first quarter was 20-16 USA. The tone that was set, though, by our ladies was very good. 12-4 start. And I like the way the ladies team plays a lot more because they really go from defense to offense, which is my basketball philosophy in general. Create turnovers, rebound, push the ball with the pass, not the bounce, and get it up the floor. I think that's something that the men's team can do a lot better job of pushing off of rebounds, which is something that the Dream Team excelled at because that's just something that was more commonplace in basketball then was the outlet, fast breaking, just looking to make it happen. Now it's like early offense, but more pace to stuff. But the fast breaking, the outlet passes, all that, nah. It's a lot of putting the ball on the floor. Here's my thing. Asia Wilson and Stewie, I talked about it on Basketball and Figueroa, which is, by the way, the only podcast talking Lakers, Clippers, and Sparks that you can get a weekly check-in on all my thoughts on those teams. That's a show. The playlist is there on my channel. Me and Edwin Garcia, who's a beat writer for the Lakers. So, yeah, check that out. But they just every game show that they're the best two players in the world. And there's a little distance behind them and the next. But it's just before them and the next. They do it on both ends of the floor. They're high IQ. They're fundamentally sound. They both just play the right way for me. They don't dribble too much. Their footwork is fantastic. They use pump fakes. And they have what you can't teach, which is that it factor, that dog in them. They run the floor hard. They do all the little things in addition to all the big things. Special, special players. I am a fan. I am a fan of both. Let's see. How old is Asia Wilson? Oh, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Asia Wilson. 28 years old. You're 2 years older than me. Cool. And then Stewie is 1994. So she's going to turn 30 this year. She's 4 years older than me. That's cool. Special players. Special players. I thought Jackie Young, since she's been inserted into the starting lineup, I mean, she's been so good. Her handle's so solid. She has spots. Like, she has the mid-range, right elbow, left elbow, in the middle of the paint, jump shot, like around the basket, three ball. But it's that inside the arc, that mid-range she gets to, going to her left. So special. Even going to her right. She can really do it going both ways. She's not the quickest, but she just is strong. Again, another fundamentally sound player, good footwork. How many guards in the WNBA are better than Jackie Young? Both ends of the floor. She's won the championship 2 years in a row. Caitlin Clark is not better. Sabrina Ionescu is a good candidate. I'd say she's right in that conversation, especially with the way she's been defending better this year. And her shooting ability is just phenomenal, and the Liberty are doing so great. But is she better than Jackie Young? If you're a W fan, let me know in the comments. How about Arike? I mean, Arike's special, but she is a little too much of a jacker. I don't know if I can say she's better than Jackie Young. I mean, who else is there? I can't think of, Kalea Copper. She's special. Jewel Lloyd. But I really think Jackie Young is just, I rarely have anything bad to say about her decision-making or things that she does when she plays. And I watch a lot of Aces games. We're going to see, though, in the playoffs. She's the real deal. I mean, she had 8 points in the first quarter, mid-range, fast breaks. 14 out of our first 18 points as a team were off fast breaks. And I love when teams push pace like that off of rebounds and turnovers. I mean, the USA women's team, their defense is solid, but I love the transition offense. And their transition defense was bad. Definitely bad. And they got back in it a little bit after some misses. That's why it was only 20-16 after one. But the second quarter, USA just clamped down and we just blew them out. 25-11 in the second quarter to go into the half with a 45-27 lead. It was a 12-0 run to start the quarter. 2 wide open threes, one from Sabrina Ionescu, the other from the Gold Mamba. We took a 30-16 lead, timeout Australia, and we just blew it open with our transition offense. The starters came back in and destroyed. 18 of our first 40 points were off fast breaks, and we never looked back after that. Everybody played for us, with Diana Taurasi, who's been taken out of the starting lineup and is definitely the worst player on the team, or least good player on the team, out, or playing the least amount of minutes. 6 minutes for DT. She shot 2 threes and missed them both. Had a donut. She was the only player not to score. She did get a rebound, though. Also got a turnover. A couple ladies played 11 minutes. Sabrina Ionescu only played 10. She shot 50%, though, and was extremely efficient when she was in. 8 points and an assist with no turnovers on 3 for 6 shooting and 2 for 5 from 3 in just 10 minutes. So Sabrina been really good in this Olympics, coming off the bench and giving us that spark plug scoring-wise and ball handling-wise. And she's just been spectacular all season long for the Liberty. Kelsey Plum played 11 minutes. She was 0 for 2, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line, 2 points, 1 assist, and 3 turnovers. So quieter game, not a great one for Kelsey. Jewel Lloyd made a 3, but she was 1 for 3 from the field overall. She was 0 for 2 from 2, made her only 3, which was that corner 3 I referenced earlier. 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a turnover in 11 minutes. Alyssa Thomas got 16 minutes, and I have to say she has been so good, in my opinion, defensively on the ball, on the perimeter, moving her feet, on the interior, just being a brick wall, and obviously what she can do with the ball in her hands, getting downhill, knocking ladies over, and her passing is just spectacular. So an MVP candidate, one of the best players in the league, one of the best players in the world, AT. A lot of people don't like her because she's got that one-handed shot. She can't really shoot the ball well, and she just doesn't have the prettiest game, but man, she is a very good player, and she's been great for us. 3 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover for AT on 1 for 2 shooting, 1 for 1 from the foul line in 16 minutes of play. BG had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers on 2 for 5 shooting, 1 for 2 from the foul line in 19 minutes. And then Kalia Copper, great to see her get the most minutes of any bench player. I love Ka. She's an absolute bucket. For guys that don't watch the W, check out Kalia Copper. She is super fun to watch. Straight up bucket for the Phoenix Mercury. Used to play for the Chicago Sky, a champion, a finals MVP. I got to go back and watch some of those old Sky games because I want to see Ka on the big stage. But she had 11 points, which was our leading bench scorer, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover on 4 for 9 shooting and 2 for 4 from 3, 1 for 1 from the foul line. Then the starters, the point guard, Chelsea Gray, 5 points, 3 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, had a beautiful behind-the-head pass to Stewie for a pick-and-pop 3. Her passing is just highlight city. Of course, former Spark and champion with the Sparks, Chelsea Gray, 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3. And then the rest of the starters, Jackie Young, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover on 6 for 8 shooting, 2 for 2 from the foul line. So 75% from the field. She's been special. Nafisa Collier, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, 2 turnovers. So she filled up the stat sheet in this one. 4 for 8 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. And you're starting to see with Fee, she's slowly starting to look more like her old self as she's recovered from this injury in this tournament and will be ready to go for the Lynx when the season starts back up in about a week. So it's crazy. The turnaround from Olympics back to the W, it's short. Back in that championship hunt, and the Lynx have big goals this season. And then the duo, the two best players in this world for the women's side of things. Asia Wilson, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Didn't quite get the double-double in this one. 1 assist, 2 steals, 4 blocks. Her rim protection and shot blocking to start the game was ridiculous. 5 for 7 from the field in 21 minutes of play. And then Stewie, 16 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, 1 steal on 6 for 12 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, 3 for 3 from the foul line. She is spectacular. USA wins it 85-64. We will play France in the final, just like the men, which brings me to France. Nico Batum and crew in the first are making the gold medal game. I am so proud of them. And it was against the Germany team that beat the shit out of them just a week ago. And I watched the game, and it was funny because Germany got off to a 12-2 start, and Franz Wagner was getting busy early. Like, you could tell he was trying to make a point. But France answered back. And, of course, you have the French crowd. You have the home cooking. Wemby started impacting the game on both ends of the floor. Blocking shots as the low man rotating, rebounding. There was a nice seal he had really close to the basket, and he threw it down over Daniel Tice's head. Defensively, Gobert, when he was in, and he didn't start this game, and neither did Fournier, was hedging on the screens with Dennis Schroeder, which was trying to take Dennis Schroeder's downhill drive away and that pull-up jump shot. And it was weird. There weren't that many Franz Wagner minutes in the second quarter. And France took full advantage of that. Nico Batum, he was just amazing, man. He was truly spectacular. The amount of deflections that he had in times where he tipped the ball off of somebody, the nice entry passes. He even had one pocket pass in the pick and roll as the ball handler with Wemby. So, I mean, you saw so many great things from him. And we saw a little bit more of what we saw against Canada from France, which was their big forwards like Yabusele and Lesort getting the ball down low and taking advantage of size. And not only that, with Nico Batum, by the way, his point of attack defense was fantastic. Really great. On Schroeder, by the way. And in the previous game, he guarded SGA. So, like, Nico's still doing all this at this age. Imagine what he can do for the Clippers this season. But Cordnier and Yabusele were fantastic in the second quarter for France. Yabusele was, turning and facing, getting and shooting the ball from the mid-range, getting in the paint and finishing through contact in around the restricted area. Like, his finishing was impressive, man. He's been super impressive throughout the tournament. Germany outscored France 25-18 in the first, and France outscored Germany 15-8 in the second. So 8 points that they held them to. That's clamps. The score was 33-33 at the half. And in the third quarter, Gershon Yabusele scored 9 straight points. He was just taking over. On the German side, our boy Daniel Tice was doing a great job on the offensive glass. There was one sequence where he got like 3 offensive rebounds that he tipped to a German player within the span of like 90 seconds. And he was playing super hard defense, doing some good things in the short roll as well. But, I mean, enough about former Clippers. How about current Clippers? Nico Batum, so fucking good, man. I mean, that insane chase down block he had against Dennis Schroeder. He had an and one. He had a nice entry pass. I mean, the guy is just doing a little bit of everything. But Germany wouldn't go away. Dennis Schroeder kept them alive in that third with 2 threes because they went cold. He had 8 points in the third quarter, but France outscored them 23-17 in the third. So that they had a 6-point lead going into the fourth. And then, 56-50. And then in the fourth quarter, we saw some really big baskets from Lesort in the low post, getting physical. And you could see the emotion from him when he scored. And in the non-Wemby minutes, Germany kind of got back into it. They got into the paint more. And by the way, Franz Wagner, he went completely missing for multiple quarters. And we saw in Game 7 when he went like 1 for 14 against Cleveland. That was really weird. But he went completely missing from quarters 2 and through 3. Like, it was wild to see. Sorry about that. It was wild to see. It was basically all Dennis Schroeder for those second and third quarters. Franz finally made a 3 late in the game to make it 68-70 with 39 seconds to go. Then they got the ball back, but Franz lost his balance and lost the ball out of bounds. Then they had to play the foul game. And then they had the ball down 3, and France elected to foul with the shot clock turned off, and Dennis Schroeder missed a free throw. Would have made it 70-71, and they would have only been down by 3, and they fouled again. So the final score was 73-69. France actually beat them. I think the problem with Germany was Franz Wagner went missing. And there was some home cooking, but not enough to make a difference. I think that's the reason. France wins it 73-69. They'll advance to the gold medal game to play us. I don't think I'll have time to have a live on Saturday, so I'm just going to do it on Sunday after the U.S. women gold medal. But France doesn't stand a chance, in my opinion. There's going to be home cooking. There's going to be a really, really loud crowd, great atmosphere, but they don't really stand a chance for me. But I'm happy for them. I'm really happy that Nico's going to get a silver medal at the least, and it'll be an experience to never forget playing at home. They win it 73-69 over the FIBA World Champions, Germany. France shot 44% from the field. Germany shot 40%. France shot 22% from 3, so terrible. Germany shot 29% and made 4 more threes. France got to the line 15 times, Germany 13 times. France made 11 of them, Germany made 9 of them. For the French, Evan Fournier came off the bench and played 20 minutes. He had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, no turnovers on 2 for 7 shooting and 1 for 6 from 3. Jesus. Rudy Gobert literally only played 5 minutes because they like that small ball kind of look. They like having a big 4 in there, a more mobile 4 that can punish small ball, actually, unlike Gobert, who cannot score for his life over smaller guys. He had a donut, Gobert, 1 rebound, 1 assist in 5 minutes and over 1 from the field. Lesor had 10 points and 4 rebounds and 1 assist and a block on 4 for 5 shooting, 2 for 4 from the foul line in 17 minutes. The starters, Frank Ntilikina, he had some big buckets in the fourth quarter, by the way. Frank Ntilikina, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers on 2 for 2 shooting, 1 for 1 from 3 in 12 minutes. Huge in the fourth. Cornier, 33 minutes for him. He led the French in minutes in this game. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers on 6 for 13 shooting, 2 for 5 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line. His shot making has been great for France throughout the tournament. Where does he play? Because he plays in Serie A, Bologna, for the Italian league. Man, I wonder if he gets an NBA look after this. He's been really good. Yabusele played 26 minutes, and he's one of the MVP candidates of the tournament. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers on 7 for 11 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3. So he was 7 for 9 from 2, 3 for 3 from the foul line. Nico, what a game for Yabusele. Dominating on the inside, finishing around the basket strong, being their best one-on-one player, to be honest. Nico had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover on 3 for 7 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3. So he didn't even shoot well from 3, 2 for 3 from the foul line. 28 minutes for him. And then Wemby played 32 minutes, had 11 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers. So those stats sound pretty good, but he was 4 for 17 from the field and 1 for 8 from 3. So again, too much perimeter stuff for me, too much jump shooting, 8 threes. And the funny part is he does catch the ball in the post sometimes, then he just turns and faces. Again, KD disciples. And no one's quite KD. So Wemby, I think, is going to get crushed in the final, but we'll see what happens. But he still affects the game massively and positively. For Germany, Mo Wagner, 4 points off the bench, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 for 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3 in 15 minutes. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal on 2 for 5 shooting, all those shots being threes in 24 minutes. Rabonga. Dennis Schroeder, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal, 3 turnovers on 6 for 18 shooting, 3 for 11 from 3, 3 for 4 from the foul line. So he didn't shoot well at all. And then Franz Wagner, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a turnover on 4 for 10 shooting, 2 for 6 from 3. So just not quite good enough from their 2 best players. And Tice, 8 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. and a block on 3 for 8 shooting. 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line. Germany shot 40%. So, yeah, good win for France. But that's it for me in this one, guys. Now to the live subscribers waiting patiently in the chat. You'll have an episode on Sunday night where USA will have hopefully won gold in both. Peace. Have a great weekend. All right, fellas, let's see what we got. What's up, Daniel Barry? What's up, Raid? People act like Christian Laettner was the weak link on the dream team just because he was a college player, too. I mean, he was. I was so nervous while watching this game. I really thought we were about to lose. Go Mavs, go USA. What's up, Kenny K? Jamar Morrisau says, what's up with today's NBA fans? People were actively rooting Team USA and constantly trashing our players to be up the dream team. Really? That's today's NBA fans? If they were bringing up the dream team, that had to be old NBA fans. Because why do you guys have to distract from the dream? Why do you guys want to crown this team better than the dream team so bad? I guess the other side is just as bad, but I don't know. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Peace and have a great one. I'll see you guys on Sunday for another live. Peace.